my name is Sophia and today I'm doing the unpopular opinions book tag. So, this is my favorite tag that there is, and I've been watching it for years now, and I've always wanted to do it, and today I got the nerve and I said, fuck it, I'll do it. I'll finally talk about my unpopular opinions. And that's what I'm doing today. So, you've probably seen this tag before, but it's pretty much a bunch of questions, and it's your popular opinions based on the questions. So, the first question is a popular book or book series that you didn't like. I have two answers for this. The first one is The Popular by R.F. Kuang. So, it's an adult high fantasy that's kind of military, and I hated it. Like a lot. And most of it's not really even the book's fault. Like, I was just in a mind space where I was really nitpicky with everything the book did. See, blue tabs are stuff I didn't like, and I only started tabbing halfway through. And it was just like, anything the book did, like a time jump, that's like, every book does that. I was like, why would do a time jump here? That's awful. So, it's not, the writing in this book definitely did bother me, and the pacing too, but other than that, I don't think I have many legitimate reasons to not enjoying it, except for I was in another headspace. But I really did hate it. The other one I want to talk about today is The Secret History by Donna Tartt. So I read this in July, and I read this for the reading rush in about 3 days, I think. And at the time I read it, I was like, yeah, it's good. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. It wasn't much, but it wasn't bad either. But the more I think about it and the more time gets from when I finished it to now, I just think, like, why is this a modern classic? For me, it was just fine. It wasn't a big deal about this book. Like, it was just fine. It's not that I don't like it. It's not that I dislike it. It's a book I hate. But, like, it's a really unpopular opinion because this book is so loved, and I don't get it. This is set in the 80s, in a college in the 80s, and everybody's super pretentious. So that's the plot for you. The second question is a popular book or series that everyone else seems to hate but you love. So, for this, I have the Bloodlines series by Richelle Mead. This is a spin-off series on Vampire Academy by Richelle Mead, and it's like, okay, so you think Vampire Academy, you think 2000, like mid-2010s paranormal romance, you think it's gonna be shit, but Vampire Academy, I agree, has a lot of flaws. I'm the first person to admit that. I like that series, I like the series a lot, but this series is one of my favorites of all time. And I'll tell you why. It's because the cover is hideous. Don't mind the cover. It's because of, I first read this, context. I first read this in 2015. I was 11 and 12, I guess. I'm really young. I was 12, and I absolutely loved it. So I was thinking the beginning of this year, like, if I pick this up now, would it still hold up? And I binged all 6 books in 6 days, and they're even better than I remembered. Like, I'm a very critical reader now, and these still hold up. And it's mostly because this still has my favorite romantic pairing of all time, because I could do an entire video just because I wrote an essay just for me because of the reason why I love this pairing so much, why I love them so much, and it's basically because they take 3 books of getting to know each other and getting to care about each other as people before they start thinking about each other romantically, and then they form a couple and they help each other out. It's so healthy, so beautiful, and I love it so much. Like, yeah, some things may be cringy, some things may be outdated, but, like, it's so good. Like, the entire plot is just a setup for these characters to grow and to, like, grow together, and it's beautiful, it's amazing, I love it so much. Oh, I spend a lot of time there. The next question is a love triangle where the main character ended up with the person you did not, wow, my accent is doing things, with the person you did not want them to end up with. or an OTP that you don't like. So I don't have a non-spoilery answer for this right now. So I'm going to say non-spoilers, zero spoilers, Oathbringer by Brandon Sanderson. The OTP at the end, you know, with the Shalon and the other person, it's not that I don't like them together, it's just that I don't think Shalon should be allowed to manifest that part of herself so, like, without consequence. I think she should be getting help, not getting like, oh, it's okay, you can express your mental illness like that. No, get her some treatment. And this person she ends up with is like allowing her to stay in that zone, and I don't like it, even though I like that other person a lot and like Shalon a lot. But this pairing did not work for me. The next question is a popular book genre that you hardly reach for. So this would be thriller and horror books. Like if it wasn't for this year, I would have read a handful of thrillers in my life and no horror books. But this month, actually, this August, I picked 6 thrillers. On a row, I just binged 6 thrillers, which was kind of insane. And most of them were 3 stars lower, but there were some I really enjoyed. I'm trying to get more into that genre. But still, it's a genre I do hardly reach for, and I'm very picky. I don't enjoy many of those. Like, the highest rating I gave to one of those was 4 stars, which is a very good rating, but like, for 6 books, for 6 thrillers? So yeah, that's a genre I would like to, like, go in a little bit more, but my experience with it hasn't been the best. Next question is a popular or beloved character that you do not like. Okay, let's start with this very popular book, Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Everybody's heard about this. I have this beautiful edition. It's about a 70s rock band and their history. This reads like a bunch of interviews thrown together like a nonfiction book. You've probably heard about it. So, Billy. I fucking hate Billy. Like, I know he gets kind of a redemption arc, and I get that he's human and that he's meant to be unlikable, but like, I took those negative traits of his that are traits that I fucking hate in people, and I couldn't, even when he grew, he didn't overcome them completely, but he grew over them a little. But still, man, I can't wrap my head around that. I hate him. Okay, the next book character I'm gonna talk about that I didn't like, this one I don't hate, I just don't enjoy as much as other people do, and as much as the other characters in this novel, and it's Mathias from Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. Okay, so I love the crows, right? I love them to death. But like, Mathias, he's just there, you know? He's just there, and I'm not that attached to him. I don't love him that much. I sympathize with him, I empathize, but like, he's just there. He's not Kaz or Nej or Nina or Jesper or Wyland. He's Mathias. I'm sorry if I just said a lot of shit about your favorite character. I love all the others, though. All the others. The next question is a popular author that you can't seem to get into. So, I have a very straightforward answer for this, but I'm going to tell a little of my story with this writer. So, it's Sergey Maas, and I haven't been able to get into a book of hers since 2017. First time I picked a book of hers up, it was 2016, and I binged all of the Throne of Glass series that was out at that time, and all of the acotar series that was out at that time. I was a stan, like a hardcore fucking stan. Like, I was thinking about getting tattoos, even though I was 14 years old. Also, 13, I think. They marketed those books with very explicit content to 12, 13-year-olds, and I picked it up. Like, I know a lot of people have problems. I'm 16 now. A lot of people have problems with people my age reading that type of content, but I personally don't mind. My favorite series ever is Never a Night by J. Kristoff, which is really explicit. But like, being exposed to that when you're 12, 13, I think that's a little bit too much. But so, I was a stan, a hardcore fucking stan. And I loved it up until the release of Empire Storms. But then came acotar, A Court of Wings and Ruin. I picked it up, absolutely fucking hated it. It was a terrible conclusion. And then I started seeing, after I read acotar, I started seeing all the problems with the rest of the series that I didn't see before, because I read acotar in 2017 while I had read the other series over a year ago. And so it ruined the all of her books for me. All of them. And at this point I just gave all of them away because I'm at a point where I really, really don't like them. So yeah, Sergey Maas is an author I probably won't pick up again. And yeah. The next question, getting to another thing, is a popular book trope that you're tired of seeing. So I have two for this one. The first one is really weird, and it's really kind of specific, and it came out when I was reading those thrillers that I mentioned earlier. It's when the story has a place where people die there, and they say, oh my god, people died here, oh man, this has a haunted history, people died here. Like, stop. That doesn't mean anything, you know? Like, stop it. It's boring. It's like such a cheap way to gain tension in a story, and I hate it. At this point, I hate it. I can't stand it anymore. People are like, but people died here. I'm like, yeah, so what? People died everywhere. Like, don't go to Europe if you don't like people dying there. But like bubonic plague, you know, I'm getting too worked up over this. The second trope I want to say wasn't a trope, more of a story type, and it was Beauty and the Beast retellings. There's not a reason, I just can't. I don't like them. I really do not like them. I like the original Beauty and the Beast, but not the remake. And not any retelling I've read since. They really don't work for me. I don't know, I'm just tired of seeing that specific trope. Like the guy in a faraway castle and he's a beast and the girl has to go there, but she ends up falling in love with him. I can't. I know a lot of people love those, but I can't anymore. The next question is popular series or book that you have no interest in reading. So there's this book, Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret something. I'm so sorry, I don't know the name of the author. But like, everybody's been raving about it this past month, pretty sure, and I don't have any interest in reading it. It's not anything to do with the author, anything to do with the premise, or the cover. The cover is beautiful. Nothing to do with anything. I don't want to read it, and it's so weird, because a year ago, YA fantasy was my favorite genre, but now, since I've read a lot of adult high fantasy, so the latest YA fantasies I've read aren't really doing it for me. So I'm not, even though it's really hyped, I'm not really pumped to pick up Sorcery of Thorns. Not anything with the book. It's probably really good. It's just like not for me right now. And the last question, last. English. I hate it. It's the saying goes, the book is always better than the movie. But what movie or TV show adaptation do you prefer more than the book? So for this, I have one simple, easy answer. It's The Perks of Being a Wallflower. So, this book, I got 150 pages into it, absolutely fucking hated it, DNF'd a lot of years ago. It was in my school library, which also a book with 3 sex scenes by page 50 shouldn't be in a school library, on a middle school library. So yeah, and I watched the movie, and the movie's really good. The movie's really fun, even though it's kind of a bit too pretentious, and we're teenagers, we're never gonna die, but like, it's fun. It's just a fun movie, but I could not stand the book. But yeah, I guess this is it. This is the Unpopular Opinions book tag. I'll list every single book I talked about below. And my name is Sophia, and I'll see you next time. Bye!